Not much to report in terms of actual, versions of the game itself. There's one gameplay option available to you, which is it's the main game itself. No kind of derivations, no score attack modes or anything like that. I'll probably at this point kind of talk about how I feel about the game itself as well. It's solid. It's a good little shooter. I think my issue and my gripe, and this thing may put a lot of people off, is the same thing that's also really good about it. It's this abstract kind of art style that the shooter's got. At its heart, it's a fairly fairly standard shooter with you use one button to do all of the shooting, so in that respect it's quite simple. But in terms of how you play the game, there's interesting shooting mechanics in there. In terms of you've got a fire system, you can power it up to do different things, but ultimately if you get hit by a bad guy, then your ship will go into overdrive. So if you get hit again, then you'll die, but you've got increased firepower, so the chances of surviving are better. If you lose that first, it's not a life as such, but if you get hit and you've got that increased firepower, you've got a better chance of surviving, but you're on a knife edge. Luckily the game does give you opportunities to get that power up back again, and effectively you power down, so you've almost got 2 lives on the go all the time. On the flip side of that, the game's pretty hard, and probably frustratingly hard in some places, because you have issues in actually seeing the bullets sometimes, and that's my big bugbear about the game, and it's one thing that really puts me off, because you sometimes feel like that the deaths that you have are not down to your skill, they're down to the fact that you can't really see the bullets very well, unfortunately, and this is really prevalent in the boss battles. In the gameplay footage that I'll show on here, I'll show the first boss battle. It took me a long while to work out how to beat him, and it makes it very tricky. And you've got to keep moving, and those bullets that the boss fires are pretty indistinct from the background. Now you can tone those effects down, which I'll show you on the options screen, which do make things a little bit easier, but only a little bit easier. So it's a strange one. The attracting part of it is how it looks, but it's also kind of like one of its biggest flaws as well, unfortunately, with this game. It's proof that all shooters can't be great, to be honest, and I know I'm conscious about talking positively about PS4 shooters, and this is one of the ones which I think is distinctly average, to be honest. It looks stunning, but it's pretty average. But for the price, it's worth picking up and adding to the collection. That's the thing about it, and it does get better with repeated play. It definitely does. So we'll talk about some of the options, and then, as I say, we'll get onto the gameplay in the next section. It took me a little while to work out that there are other options from this main screen. You've got to press left and right to get into these options. So you press left there. I've got the music turned down. The music's really good, actually. The music's really atmospheric, really kind of like high paced, and it suits the game really well. The Elites log is it's like a high score table, online high score table. I'll not download the high score table, because you'll see how poor I've actually done on this game in terms of high scores. But I have gotten to the second level in terms of progress. So this Elites log here, as you unlock the trophies, there are certain bits of kind of background. I mean, log says it all. Bits of background and the story that you actually kind of open, and from the manual you'll see that there is a great big long involved story involved in this game, and these are sections of that story. That's opened. There we go. So as you can see, as you unlock the story through your progress, then you'll get more narrative there. So we'll go back to the main screen. There we go. So if you press right on the main screen, you'll get your gameplay options. So you can turn that animated wallpaper off if you want, if it's distracting you. You can tone down some of the gameplay elements there, and the graphical elements as well. So you can turn that those effects that are going on down quite a lot, to be honest. But it doesn't affect the fact that the core of the game itself is pretty wacky looking, to be honest. So that's it in terms of options. We'll now take a look at play through the first level. Again, as per usual. Well, I'm going to say as per usual on the standard difficulty level. There's nothing else other than the standard difficulty level in this game. So yeah, show you some gameplay.